What's up, guys? This is Rich, and this is part one of our technical overview video. We were actually going to do this all as one take, but it ended up being a really long video, so we broke it up into a series of videos, so we hope you enjoy it. So, starting out, let's talk about generally what will be offered. The MTW will come by default with the Gen 2 Inferno cylinder inside it. This is a slightly modified version of our Inferno cylinder. Most of the parts are the same, and all the technology is the same, but modified to fit with this platform instead of an AEG. We will be offering two standard lengths, a 14.5-inch barrel length and a 10.3 that you see here. They will come with two different standard M-LOK rail lengths. This is the 10-inch here, and we have a 13-inch as well. In addition, we will have a 6-inch rail of the same design and various other barrel lengths that you can use to customize your gun as you see fit. The lower receiver is going to be machined from a real steel forging, 7075 T6. We'll get into the details later, but this is ATF approved as a non-firearm, so you don't have to worry about that. The upper will be 6061 T6 aluminum. Rail is and barrel are both 6061 T6 as well. And the external finish on all these parts is actually going to be a hard coat mil-spec anodizing. This is something that's not being done by anybody, and it gives the gun a top quality finish, much better, both in cosmetics and in terms of the durability than any of the standard paints or finishes that are used on the airsoft market currently. So let's talk compatibility. I'm going to try to keep this fairly brief, and because we have a full compatibility guide where you can look at everything laid out, and we'll talk about each individual piece as we tear it down more through the video. But there are basically three different categories. You have things that are compatible with real steel, you have things that are compatible with AEG spec, and you have things that are proprietary. We tried to keep most things either AEG spec or real steel, but there are a few things that are proprietary. So let's talk real steel. Our buffer tube is real steel spec, castle nut, sling plate, grip with one slight modification that we'll talk about later, trigger guard. All of those are real steel. Probably a couple other things I'm forgetting. As far as the AEG compatibility, your inner barrel, hop up rubber, all that kind of stuff, with the sort of exception of the hop-up itself, which is a proprietary design, but it is compatible with the majority of aftermarket hop-up units if you want to replace it with something. The rail as well is AEG spec, though we designed the upper receiver so that it actually will take either real steel or AEG spec barrel nuts. That was a trick. We're not going to tell you how we did. Proprietary stuff. Your selector switch is proprietary, your trigger is proprietary. Semi-proprietary, you have your charging handle and your bolt catch. Charging handle can pretty easily be modified from a real steel if you want, but it is slightly different. The bolt catch is a decent bit different. It can be modified, and we are going to do a tutorial on how to make aftermarket stuff like your bad levers and stuff like that work with the functioning bolt catch, but it is, for all intents and purposes, proprietary. So let's take a look at some of the key features for the MTW design. First up, we have the true toolless disassembly. It breaks down exactly like a standard AR. So you split the receiver, and you can pull the whole unit out and access everything. If you need to do basic maintenance, you have a problem, whatever it is, it's completely toolless disassembly. Next, you have your functioning empty magazine detection and bolt release. This is, again, set up exactly like the real gun. So the gun stops firing when the magazine is empty, and you have to hit the bolt release before the gun will start firing again. So the MTW is designed to work with our proprietary magazines, which give you your empty mag detection and your bolt release function. But it's also designed so that it can use standard AEG magazines, so you get the best of both worlds. You get the really cool functionality, but you can still share mags on your squad if somebody is using other magazines, and you're not stuck to just using our proprietary magazines. Now, similarly with the hop-up, we do have our own proprietary hop-up design, but it's designed to work with aftermarket hop-up options. So again, you get the design that's intended to work specifically with this platform, so you get a few nice features from it, but if you want to do something different, we give you that flexibility. Now, one of the most important things that we wanted to do with this design was to fix alignment issues. This is something that anybody that's dealt with HPA at all has had to deal with, right? Your alignment of the gearbox to your hop up. This has always been an issue with HPA systems and is something that we wanted to fix. The MTW is intrinsically aligned. This is because your cylinder is held by the upper receiver, not by a gearbox. No gearbox, right? So your cylinder is held by the upper receiver and it's always perfectly lined up with your hop up. So you get intrinsically perfect alignment from the system itself and never have to mess with it. So with the MTW, as you might guess from the name, it's called the Modular Training Weapon. This is because we've designed the system to be modular. This was a big thing for us. We wanted you to be able to use the different subsystems that you've designed. So if you like an Inferno or a Reaper, or you want to use a Quake stock or a Wraith stock, or the new Wraith Arrow, right? All these systems bolt on, right? Unlike in the past where you've had to modify things or do custom work to make it fit, it's designed to just simply bolt together. So really anybody with basic tech skills can do the installation of these different systems, and you can easily swap it back and forth depending on different gameplay styles. In order to make all that work, what we've done is develop standard interfaces. Now these interfaces are the same across all of the different systems that will work with this platform. So all of the engines use the same interface to connect to the body, and we'll be using that with future engine designs. All of the stocks will use the same interface to connect between the engine and the stock, and again we'll be using that on future product designs. Last but not least, for our key features, every single one of these guns, like all of our systems, is designed, assembled, tested, and shipped from our facility here in Kingsport, Tennessee. So before we close out this video, there's one more thing we want to address, which is what everybody's going to be asking, right? What's the price point? Now, there's still a few details we're finalizing, so we haven't nailed down an exact price point yet. But we will say that the goal with this product was to make it such that if you're looking for an HPA M4, there's really no reason that you would even consider buying an AEG separately and converting it yourself. In order to do that, the price point has to be competitive. So we're going to be offering this at somewhere in the $500 to $600 price point, which is crazy when you think about what you're getting out of this gun. You're getting your perfect alignment, you're getting the forged lower receiver, all the realistic compatibility, the easy maintenance, all these features that you're getting at a price point that is equal to or less than what it would cost to buy a gun separately, buy the HPA system, and then convert it yourself. Now, obviously, there's many other platforms other than M4, so all the other aftermarket stuff is still going to be important. But if you're looking for an HPA M4, then there's no question this is absolutely the way to go. We are really proud of being able to offer this system at this price point. It's really hard to explain how much work it takes to be able to develop a system that has the quality, the durability, and the features that you want and offer it at this price point. This took a tremendous amount of work in order to optimize everything, optimize our system so that we can offer it to you at a better price point.